Well, here we go. Also, happy Friday the 13th. What is up, Finn fans? Wild card weekend. And yes, the Miami Dolphins are a part of it. As much as they are banged up to kingdom come, Miami Dolphins are part of the wild card weekend. They're facing the number 2 seed, the Buffalo Bills. I do have Dan Mitchell on. He gives us some good insight. It's always fun having my man Dan on. I've been friends with him for years. He's a good guy. Go subscribe to his channel. And also, if the Dolphins win, heckle the crap out of them. But yeah, today's Friday the 13th, so I thought I'd wear my Friday the 13th. It says I wish it was Friday. Well, it's Friday the 13th, so maybe planets will align and a black cat will cross and a mirror will break and all these things will happen and the Dolphins will beat the Buffalo Bills on Sunday. Anything could happen. But let's get into it. We're going to talk to Dan. We got the injury, breakdown, 5 things. I'm going to give you my prediction. Be sure to stay for the whole thing. I love you guys. Now let's jump into this and talk with Dan Mitchell. And I pick his brain on the Buffalo Bills. Dolphins playing Bills. You know I had to get Dan on. My man. My Buffalo Bills guy. You know everyone has a guy. It's my Buffalo Bills guy. What's up, Dan? How you doing? You're probably on cloud 9 right now.
Oh man, it's been a couple of days since you and I chatted. I'm not gonna lie, I'm glad that your organization put Tua's health like on such a high pedestal.
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna lie to you, like a giant weight was lifted off my shoulders once I heard that we're probably going to be facing Skylar Thompson. But
Mm-hmm.
like we were talking about right before we went live, this is the NFL and anything can happen, right?
Are you be honest? Are you at all hesitant with this game, or you nah, we got this? I don't really have to sweat at all.
See, the thing is that really when it comes down in any sort of divisional matchup, right? That's always going to keep me up at night because teams are built to compete against their division, right? It doesn't matter what the record is. It's very rare that you see consistent blowouts. Not unless and so we're talking the Patriots for the past 15
Yeah.
years ago, and it didn't even matter. I think the Bills and the Dolphins play each other very well.
Mm-hmm.
You still have that defense coming out there. And honestly, that defense literally kept it close twice.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's something in the back of my mind where I think that not necessarily the Dolphins can beat us, but I could see us beating ourselves.
Yeah.
Right? That's something that's in the back of my mind. I hope it's not, but there's still that possibility. I'm more concerned about the Bills going out there and just playing an absolute ass game and y'all just taking advantage of some of our mistakes and capitalizing it.
And yeah, you hit the nail on the head with that one because we won the game because Josh Allen threw it in the dirt on 4th down. That's easy touchdown to win the game there. And then kept it close when we were in Buffalo with that strip sack from Phillips, and we ended up not getting any points really off of that. So it's a lot of time this past year it's competitive, like you said, very close competitive, whereas the years before you guys were blowing us out of the water, very close competitive. But like you said, a lot of it has to do with you guys beating yourselves in Miami, us taking advantage, and then you guys trying to, and us not having enough to pull it off. Yeah, that hit the nail on the head with that one. It's in Buffalo. Do you know how it's going to be in Buffalo? I know we're playing at 1:00, which is somewhat better. Is it because Buffalo's crazy? Do you know if the weather's going to be crazy in Buffalo?
Last time I checked, it's supposed to be sunny, but I think by kickoff it's going to be around 34 or 35 degrees. So it's going to be cold. And in Buffalo, it's going to have that wind that's coming off of the lake. So it's probably going to feel closer to 20, especially for anybody that's on the field with all of that wind. But as far as any sort of snow or rain, there's nothing to worry about there. So Really don't see the weather playing much of a factor,
Mm.
like outside of just everyone freezing their ass off. So
What's the health of Buffalo right now? Because like you said, when we faced you guys week 3, you guys were pretty banged up. Now the Dolphins are pretty banged up. What's the health right now going on in Buffalo?
yeah, man. Right now, I would say that we are the healthiest that we have been. Like, I would even argue, like, right going into week 1, because we had a couple of injuries going into week 1, like in
Mm.
training camp,
Yeah.
etcetera, minus anybody that came off of the IR or is still on IR. Literally, I was looking at the injury report today, and literally every single active person is healthy and practicing. News just came out that Micah Hyde is off of the IR as well. So, in my opinion, I don't think that he's going to be out there on Sunday.
Mm.
If anything, say that we advance, he would probably be a possibility. And then same with Jamison Crowder, but he probably wouldn't be back unless we end up, sort of advancing right into the next round afterwards. But this team is about as close to 100% healthy as you can possibly be.
Now that Tua's not playing, and it's like McDaniel came out and he said essentially Teddy's going to back up Skylar, and if Teddy's not available, then the draft will probably be the backup behind Skylar. Do you have
Yeah.
any hesitations facing Skylar? Like, is there any part of his game that you're like, oh, that's something we got to look out for? Or because me as a Dolphin fan, when I look at Skylar, I think he has the potential, but I think he's super raw, and that's why he was a 7th-round pick. Is there
Yeah.
anything about him that would make you worry? Because obviously you know what Tua can do. Anything with
Yeah.
Skylar?
Yeah, man, most definitely. I will say that I was very impressed with his ability to move around the pocket during that Jets game last week. I mean, what did he get sacked once?
Yeah.
Maybe. Did very well. And I mean, that's like literally like one of the best front fours in all of football that like he ended up going around. He has pocket poise. Um, Definitely something that I can respect from his end. Now, with any sort of rookie quarterback, like their best friend is going to be a tight end, right? So
Hmm.
I definitely see Gesicki definitely being involved quite heavily, and then also that run game. So in a perfect world, I think we know exactly what the game plan is going to be. They're going to try to run the ball. And then we're talking like very, very short passes from him, like a lot of check downs, 4 or 5 yards out. My concern with that is the fact, like we talked about on and so our video together on my channel is the fact that the Bills are 31st in the league right now when it comes to tackling, and we get absolutely demolished when it comes to yards after the catch. So, say for example that he was more so like of a gunslinger that would take shots downfield. His average is 15 yards in the air.
Mm.
Then yeah, like I have full faith in Jordan Poyer and Trey White being able to make some plays. But when it comes to that short little pass game and just being able to chew the clock and that possibility of like some yards after the catch accumulating, yeah, most definitely. That's definitely a huge concern on my end.
Yeah, because a lot of the Dolphin fan base has always been split with Tua, and now it's
Yeah.
the pro Tuas are the anti Skylers, and the anti Tuas
Years.
are the pro Sky.
Yeah.
It's so funny how it's
Yeah.
flipped. But I think it'll be interesting, and I'm very interested to see how he does against the Bills defense, because the Bills defense is a very good defense. So this is a good test, and it's on a big stage.
Huge stage.
Like, congratulations, you beat the Jets to get in the playoffs. Well, now you're playing in the playoffs. So here you go. You're going to face the number 2 team, and probably in all likelihood, probably would have been the number 1 team. But here you go, kid. Is there any weakness to the Buffalo Bills that the Dolphins can exploit?
Definitely tackling. 1,000%. Well, so okay. So the beginning of the year was so bad, but these past 2 games we've improved significantly. We only had 3 missed tackles against the Bears, and then we
Mm.
had 4 missed tackles right in our last game against the New England Patriots. So I would say from the Bills' perspective is that like Josh Allen right now, I'm not sure whether or not that it has to do with the fact that his offensive line, like so he doesn't trust his offensive line as
Mm.
much as he did like last year. He's starting to revert back to like his 2019, like 2020, like, hey, like I'm gonna sling this ball down the field and see who comes up with it. He's taken a lot of like very crazy shots downfield, and sometimes it works out for us, but
Yeah.
sometimes ends up going on ahead. So, like, I mean, I would probably like, I mean, not necessarily a weakness, but I would
Mm,
say like definitely his decision making. I'm hoping that he'll be able to clean that up going into this game. As much as I love those deep shots, I just want to see some complimentary football. I want to see him take care of the football himself, but that's going to be something I always look out for. And then, damn, like, I mean, I'm like really maybe a little bit deep
mm,
because you're probably going to see Dane Jackson out on the outside. Benford was off of the IR. I'm really not sure how many snaps he's going to get since he just got off.
mm.
And then also Ciaran Neal, who is going to be Damar Hamlin's so, sort of replacement out there. He's essentially our third string safety. So maybe on like the right side of the field deep, maybe somewhere that like you could expose. But for the most part, man, like I said, this is the healthiest our team has been in a very, very, very long time.
Yeah, and you guys got healthy at the perfect time. It's just as soon as the playoffs started for you guys. It's
That's
perfect.
nice.
Last I'm gonna ask you, looking at the game, I'm pretty sure everyone and their mother is picking Buffalo to win this one.
Yeah.
So obviously we're both, you think Buffalo's gonna win. I want to get your prediction of how would Buffalo lose
How would Buffalo lose? Okay.
if they were to, like, say the planets aligned for
Yeah.
Miami somehow. And if the Dolphins win, I'm not rubbing it in any Bills' faces. I'll kiss you guys on the mouth. I don't give a crap.
Right?
But how could you see
How could
Buffalo
the Bills
losing?
lose? Okay, this is how I could see the Bills lose. Number one, McDaniel goes out with a plan that says, "Hey, I'm gonna chew up as much damn clock as possible. Skyler, throw those 3-yard passes, just chew away, chip away, keep Josh Allen off of the field, and just take the ball away at least twice. Take the ball, yeah, that is going to be it. Just definitely have massive control of time of possession and make sure that you take the ball away, like whether or not that it's your front four, whether or not that it's your secondary being able to make a play. That is the key. And to beat the
Well,
Buffalo.
hopefully they pull that off, but
Yeah.
I don't think anyone really expects that. But Dan, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thanks, man.
We'll see you again next season.
Yes, sir.
Guys, go over, check out Dan. Fantastic. Covers the Buffalo Bills. You do a little everything over there, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, like I would say like 90% of it is Buffalo Bills. I have like a sort of my YouTube shorts are more like NFL like focus and same and sort of same with my TikToks. But yeah. So like I would say 90% Bills, and then I'll put out like a picks video and like random NFL news.
Go follow him, hit that subscribe button, help him out, and I'll
Yeah.
talk to you soon. We'll do something the off season. I think we're
Have
gonna do something. Well, actually,
is you play Matt?
later tonight because this is coming out Friday.
Yeah.
AFC East round table.
Oh yeah, we're gonna see each other on the perfect.
So everyone, first go subscribe to Dan, then go subscribe to the AFC Roundtable, and you'll see me and TD hanging out and chatting. So Dan, I'll see you later tonight.
Yeah, man. You as well.
Again, seriously, if you haven't gone over and subscribed to Dan, he's a fantastic guy. He loves his Buffalo Bills. So go over as I scratch my head. Go over, check him out, hit that subscribe button if you like what you see. But now we're gonna jump into something I hate more than anything lately, and that's the injury report. And like usual, we'll start with the Miami Dolphins. I'd have to really put my face down here to say hi to you. It's really taking up a good portion of the screen. Let's run down this son of a gun. Teron Armstead, didn't practice. Toe, pec, knee, hip, head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Man's injured. Liam Eichenberg, hand, didn't participate. Fantastic. Kendall Lamb, ankle, didn't participate. Probably not going to play. Don't have a right tackle. Raheem Mostert, thumb, broke it. Didn't participate. Maybe play, but I don't know. Brandon Shell, knee, ankle. Didn't participate. Probably won't. There goes another tackle. Tua Tagovailoa didn't participate. We already know concussion. He's out. Then we start to get to things that maybe it gets better. Teddy Bridgewater, he's not starting, but could be a viable backup. Bradley Chubb, good. Didn't participate. Now limited. He's got an ankle and a hand injury. Fantastic. That's all we need is more injuries. And then you have Alec Ingold, thumb. He's going to play. You have Jalen Phillips, toe, wrist. He's going to play. Jalen Waddle, ankle. He's going to play. Cedric Wilson, hip, groin. I'm hearing he's going to play. Then you have Cater, Greg Little, Skylar Thompson, banged up, but they're going to play. Jeff Wilson Jr., banged up. He's a full participant. He's going to play. And you have Melvin Ingram, vet rest day, like the huge. Oh, hey, I'm still here. Let's look at the Buffalo Bills injury report. Aren't you just lucky? Dan talked about it, right? They're getting healthy at the right time. Good for you. Good for you. Isaiah McKenzie didn't participate. Jordan Phillips didn't participate. Probably won't play. Jordan Poyer, limited. Probably will play. Josh Allen, Cam Lewis, you're going to practice. And Roger Safford, he's going to play. Don't you wish the Dolphins injury report was that short? Like, I've like this team, and I'm going to talk about it in the year in review, but I real quick want to just talk about the fact that they have so many injuries. Oh, many. Like, oh, if this was a healthy team, and I'm not even talking 100%, like Emmanuel Ogbah's still injured, and Byron Jones is still injured, and let's just say still Teron Armstead's still banged up, right? We still have those guys out, right? We still have injuries here and there. But if we had Nick Needham, Trill Williams, Brandon Jones, and Tua, give me those four back, I feel 100% better about this game. I would think to myself, Miami's going to win this game. Like, I'll be real confident. If we had those four guys back, just those four, I'd be like, yeah, we're pretty confident in this one. But no, they're gone. Ogbah's gone. You got Teron Armstead, Liam Eichenberg, Kendall Lamb, Brandon Shaw. We're on our fifth tackles. Ray Mostert, fantastic game. Running over people. Running angry. Might not play because of his thumb. It's just... Let's get into the breakdown. Like usual, look at the Dolphins offense versus the Bills defense and the Bills offense versus the Dolphins defense. It's not going to be pretty, but we're going to hang out and talk about it. So the Dolphins are points ranked 11th. The Bills defense ranked 2nd. Fantastic. Yards, they're both ranked 6th. Even there in getting yards and giving up yards. Pretty even. Passing, the Dolphins are ranked 4th. The Bills are 15th. Rushing, the Dolphins got better. Do you guys remember when they were like 30th in rush? 25th. Like I said, Raheem Mostert is running hard, running angry. Bills defense, though, 5th. But we did run on them a lot in Buffalo. So keep that in mind. Third down percentage, the Dolphins are now 24th. They were like top 10, top 15 during that 5-game winning streak. They have just completely, with only converting 36.2% of their third downs. It got real bad. And the Bills are stopping third down, 7th in the NFL, only allowing 37.5. Fantastic. Red zone, though, we're still good. If we can get down there, we still convert 10th in the NFL. 60% of the time we get down there, we convert. Just got to get down there. Bills are 2nd, though, in stopping. They only allow 44.9%. Then we flip it. We look at the Bills offense. They are 2nd in points. Dolphins defense is 24th in points. Bills offense is 2nd in yards. Dolphins defense is 18th in yards. Bills passing is 7th. Dolphins defense is 27th. The Bills rushing is 7th. A lot of that has to do with Josh Allen, but the Dolphins defense is 4th. They have a top 5 rush defense in the NFL. And a lot of times when it comes to playoffs and when it comes to playing in the cold, those trenches is where it's most important. Their Bills are 1st in the NFL in converting third downs with 50.3%. A lot of that has to do with Josh Allen and his legs. The Dolphins are allowing 41.6% conversions, which is 24th in the NFL. That's a big reason why they are constantly on the field. They can't get off the field on third downs. And the Bills offense is 9th in the NFL in red zone, 60.3%. And the Dolphins are 23rd, allowing 59.3% touchdowns. So that whole bend, not break defense is gone. Long gone. Let's look at the PFF and make myself feel somewhat better about that. I'm going to minimize myself. And we'll look at it here. So Poyer here. Marlowe is going to be their tackle, taking over for Hamlin, who's doing well. He's doing much better now. Very good to hear that. Milano, Edmonds, very good linebackers they have. Oliver, Jones, Russo, very good there. Their corners aren't as good, right? And our receivers are better than their corners. It's just we got to get the ball to them, and that's where Skylar comes in. And that's where Skylar needs to take that step and needs to trust his arm. Sherfield, Kazicki. If Armstead plays, fantastic. I'll feel much better, but I don't know if he plays or not. Again, probably by the end of today, we'll find out if he plays or not. And Wilson back there, I'm confident that we can run on him, but Liam Reichenberg is just, I don't know why they took him out and Jones. But if Shell can't play or if we can't have a right tackle, they're probably going to move Hunt back to right tackle. They'll probably put Jones here and Eichenberg here. It's going to be a disaster. Hopefully they can just hold up somewhat, and then we'll flip it over, us on defense, them on offense. Their offensive line is banged up, right? We need to take advantage of that. We need Melvin Ingram to go into playoff Melvin Ingram. Like, you remember when he was with the Chiefs and they got into the playoffs and he turned it on and just was ridiculous. That's what we need. Phillips, Wilkins, keep doing your thing. Bradley Chubb, we need to see you a little bit more. He's been getting more aggressive, I've noticed, which I'm happy with. Secondary's banged up. Linebackers aren't good. Again, this is stuff I will address and talk about in the offseason. You flip it over and you look at the Bills offense. Like I said, their offensive line is banged up. Not too great. Josh Allen's the number one quarterback. Not surprised there. Not worried about Singletary as much. You know, we have the 4th-ranked rush defense. Dawson Knox is going to be a problem. They need to put Eric Rowe on Dawson Knox the whole game. And Diggs, I'm just afraid of what he's going to do to Xavier Howard there. But that is the breakdown. Now we'll get into the 5 things, and I'm sticking with a tradition. Not a tradition, but I'm sticking with last week, right? Last week, my 5 things were to prove that you deserve it, or essentially just prove it. Prove you deserve to be in the playoffs, beat the Jets, do whatever you need to do, and they did it. So now, my 5 things, which is now just me telling the Dolphins one thing, and it shocked the world. Nobody, and I mean, no, the point spread went up. We're at 13. We're getting 13 points. Shocked the world. No one thinks the Dolphins are going to win this game. Not a single person. Some people are like, oh, it'll be respectable. They'll lose by 10. But nobody thinks the Dolphins are going to win this game. The injuries, the decimation on defense, the lack of defense. It's just the not having Tua out there, not having a healthy offensive line. No one thinks it, right? We need Skylar to play like he's having fun. Don't overthink it. Get the ball out there. Like, the hesitation, and I get it, he's a 7th-round pick and this, but he needs to realize he needs to have that internal clock in his head be sped all the way up, right? Tua got used to it because he played behind a garbage offensive line, so he's got that quick motor where if the guy's open, I'm getting it to him. If I can fit in that window, I'm going to get it to him. I'm not going to stand in the back of the pocket and give myself too much time because I know from last year I don't have time. Sometimes I bit him in the butt where if you waited a little longer, someone would have been open, but Skyler needs to start to accelerate that clock in his head, and he needs to get the ball out. He needs to. It's open, throw it. Because you see him. I showed it in the film breakdown. He's like, let it go, man. You got the arm. We saw you got the arm. I showed you plays where he showed he can do it. We need Skyler to play on. We need him to have fun. Go out there, have fun, light it up, and just shock the world. The D, we need to force turnovers. Plain and simple. We force turnovers. We keep their offense off the field, even if we can get some pick sixes, scooping scores, sack fumbles, all that stuff. Force some turnovers and shock the world. And offense, churn it. Churn it. Slow burn. Keep their offense off the field, because that's where the problem is going to be. Is Josh Allen, his legs throwing it to Diggs, Knox, Davis, all that stuff. So slow churn. But again, my 5 things is compiled into a 1. It's the same thing that I could say all year with stop the run the ball, better coaching, no mistakes. Just shock the world. Shock the world. Nobody thinks the Dolphins can beat the Bills. Even though the last 2 games, especially the last game when we were really banged up, we won by 2, we lost by 3. We have kept this close. Shock the world. In Buffalo. The number 2 seed versus the number 7 seed. Shock the world. Now for my prediction. No one, like I said, and I'll say it again, no one expects the Dolphins to win this game. If I'm a betting man and I'm picking straight up, why would I throw my money away, right? Dan Mitchell, like, you can ask anyone, hey, who's winning this weekend? If you had to put your money on a pick, and you felt the most comfortable with a pick, who you picking? And they're all gonna be like, oh, I put money on Buffalo. If I'm in a knockout pool, I'm going with Buffalo in this one. This is very easy one. Everyone else kind of can go either way. I'm going Buffalo, right? But you know what? This is my thoughts on that. This is my prediction on that. Screw it. Screw it. Might be the last preview of the season until the preseason this upcoming year. It might not. We might shock the world. But my thoughts on this? Screw it. I'm picking the Dolphins to win the game. I'm picking the Dolphins to shock the world. Am I crazy? Yes. Am I being stupid? 100%. Do I honestly think this is going to happen? Not at all. But screw it. Comment below. You could say, oh, you're delusional. There's no way on God's green earth. What are you smoking? I'd love to have some of that Kool-Aid. Bleed, blah, blah, blah. I don't give a crap. Dolphins are winning this game 29-28. Screw it. It's been a fun ride. But I'll see you guys on Sunday, 1 o'clock. My dad will be here. We'll be rooting for the Dolphins to upset the Buffalo Bills. Happens. One team always happens to upset in the playoffs. 49ers kept creeping out. The Giants that one year they went to the Super Bowl, they just kept winning on the road. Seattle beating the Saints. It happens. So screw it. Shock the world. I'm picking the Dolphins. Well, on that, I'll see you guys on Sunday. Like usual, stay classy and fins out.